gentlemen, I am Michael Seven. Michael, we are ECLECTICKA. We've got Drew, and we've got Sensei Vegan, aka Charles. How you guys doing today?
Good.
So, Charles and myself just got back from Fort Hamilton Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But, Drew, you have some breaking news for us, right?
I do?
Yeah. You got some breaking news. News that, come on.
My head is all over Space Around. I'm like, wait, you want me to focus on stuff? I do know. There we go. So we just got the new trailer for the upcoming X-Men Marvel / Fox brand New Mutants. That is, I call it the miscellaneous X-Men, just because it's such a random smattering of this character and that character. They're like supposed to be the next generation, and I'll keep that phrase in mind for this episode. The next generation, because if it sounds cliche, it's because it is, and it applies to another movie that we'll get into. But at any rate, New Mutants is the next generation of the X-Men. They follow, I guess it was like, Charles, help me out with this one if you know. They're the group that came like in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, mid to late 90s they came out, yeah.
Around that time, I want to say, maybe even like earlier. But you guys,
yeah. Yes, I was collecting hard back then, yeah, so.
Yeah, so it's like a random group. I wouldn't call them terribly interesting. You got characters like Cannonball, you got Wolfsbane, you got Sunspot. And some of you watching us may be like, who the hell are they? I'm in the same boat because I'm kind of like, I sort of know who they are, but they're kind of obscure. Might be a good thing for this one, considering the fact that the New Mutants, as of the new trailer that we saw, it's looking like it's going to be a lot more of a horror gothic. Like
it has a dark theme to it.
Yeah, so it looks interesting in that they're all trapped in, it looks like a medical facility.
Almost like a darn insane asylum or something. It just looks dark.
Yeah, it's like an insane asylum or something like this. I'm at Shutter Island. Developing their powers, right? But at the same time, I guess they're using them against each other. Because I do notice they have Mirage as a character. And you have the one shot of, I think it's his powers going like nuts. Because he sees the faces in the walls that are like kind of coming after him. So I think that the idea is that their own powers are being used against them. They can't control them, right?
Right.
So they're trapped in this space, and their abilities are just kind of going haywire, and they're like essentially tormenting themselves. And the idea is that they're going to be trapped in this facility until they learn to master and control their powers. That could be a cool idea. And this premise of taking the superhero mold, like a superhero like genre film, and applying it to a horror story, that could be dope. Especially if you get the timing right, and like, you know, we're in October, this Halloween time, you're gonna have like this influx of new horror movies that are coming out. If Fox, or any other, I guess, production company, gets the idea that, hey, we can take these characters and apply these like grimmer, more horror-based comic book properties and turn them into horror films, you could very easily find yourself with like the next Saw, or like Paranormal Activity franchise on your hands with some of these movies. It's just a creative idea. I don't know. Nothing may come from it, but I think it's kind of a cool idea.
It is like, as far as you were saying with the characters, it's like a roulette wheel. Like they just took that marble and spun it around and just, you know, because they're unique, you know, and just the typical middle to run stuff. So
yeah, and this could give the writers and like directors and stuff an opportunity to shine, because again, we're taking these very obscure characters who nobody's been clamoring to see
at all,
like ever, right? Not necessarily a bad thing, because with the cast, we have Maisie Williams, who's from Game of Thrones, and everybody knows who the hell Arya Stark is, right? You have a cast that's known, and you're applying them to characters who are unknown. That gives you, as a filmmaker, as a creative, the opportunity to tell a really interesting, revamped version of this character that fans of both the comics and just filmgoers, the casual filmgoer, can enjoy too. So there's something interesting that could be found in this.
Now I got to dig through my comic books and see what issues I have of New Mutants. I know I have some of them.
Right, and that's another thing too, because people like the old school, the veterans, they'll be like, "Who the hell is that character again?" And they'll go back into the archives and be like, "Oh, okay, now I know what the hell they're talking about." So you can catch all the fly Easter eggs and stuff when you go see the movie.
Because they did come out in the I believe I might even have the first issues of those things actually. Somewhere.
Oh dang, some of those sitting around from the '90s. Those, I call it, that was the real Clone Wars. All those variant covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the 80 different like types of a one issue that you could get. Bloody hell.
A whole lot of those things.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I don't know.
Drew, it's funny. I thought you were gonna say you're super excited about I don't know, Avatar 2.
Why in the hell would you think that?
They actually showed the trailer for that? I didn't even see that.
No, they have seven. I don't know if you have the picture for us, but they got this real Disney Channel, ABC family looking ass poster like shot of the cast and the name of the next Avatar movie. You guys ready for this one? How much thought they put into this one? Avatar, The Next Generation.
You gotta be kidding me.
Because, you know, that's something that we've all been champing at the bit for since for the last. When did the first Avatar come out? 2000 something.
I can't even remember.
Was it way too long ago?
That was long. I can't remember the date that thing came out.
Yeah. No one. I'm sorry. No one was like, "Oh my God, we need to get that new Avatar out now." It was Fern Gully with 6 foot tall Smurfs. I say that all the time. That's my description of it. Nothing changed. And I don't care. Who cares? No one cares about it.
He might have been taller than 6 foot, maybe like 8, 9 foot.
Nobody cares about
The magic of that film when it first came out was this excitement about 3D. This excitement, there's this new 3D. I didn't even really like it because I like that Captain Nemo kind of. Was it Captain? No, Captain Emo. Was
Captain
the
Captain EO.
Captain
Captain
EO.
EO, homie.
Michael Jackson, Captain EO. You have to put that up on screen because some of these other people aren't gonna know who Captain EO is.
Who Captain EO is?
Just
yeah, that was Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, look that up. But I mean, just to and even like they had the old school, I think, Jaws or any kind of like 70s thing that you could look up, where the
red and blue glasses
and then the knives come at you, and I wanted 3D like that. I didn't want 3D where it looks like you're looking into it. It's almost like 3-dimensional going out instead of coming at you. I didn't like that.
Yeah, if you notice though, most of these newer movies, when they say 3D, it doesn't look 3D. It seems like the animated movies, the 3D is much better in some of the animated films than it is in the live action. The live action 3D, most of the time, you're lucky if you get a couple shots where it looks like something's actually coming at you. You don't see much. But I know what you're saying, Seth. Yeah, it looks like
you get a couple scenes with these really tight. The thing about me, I've never cared about 3D.
Me either. It's a gimmick.
Kind of sort of like popping out at me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the rest of the movie, I have a headache because the freaking stupid glasses are cutting into the sides of my head.
Right.
So it's like, I've never had a good time with 3D, period.
Yeah.
It's more of a gimmick. I think they just use it to yank more money out of people because like in most of the stuff doesn't look 3D.
Yeah, and for the first Avatar, I mean, it worked, but were we really sitting up there saying, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next one? Did they really have that many strong moments where there's just like, yeah, let's keep that story going?
If they were going to do it, they should have did it. I think they should have did it years ago.
Ages ago. Yeah, and if you're
probably
going to do that, strike while the iron's hot and make a new one. Not however many. I want to say we're like over a decade we've been waiting for this.
You mean to see Pocahontas in blue with futuristic military weapons?
Yeah, pretty
Basically.
much. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see some more of that, guys. Come on.
All right, so.
You keep us posted on that one, Seven, because I think there's more interest on your end.
I think Seven's gone to the premiere.
The midnight showing, man.
Wait online.
Oh, speaking of premieres, anyone out there get your Star Wars tickets if you're a super Star Wars fan? What's the official title of the new one, Drew?
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. I don't want to mess that up.
AKA Luke Skywalker just can't. Because he looks depressed. He's cynical. He's basically become like this space version of George Carlin.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm totally just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But no, he's grizzled. He's like defeated. He sees Rey. He's like, I've only seen one other person that was this strong.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy ass Kylo Ren, my nephew, who flipped out and betrayed us all, our own little personal Judas. And I'm not doing this. I'm done. And then he just drops his lightsaber on the ground. So, It's
I'm
gonna be
really
good.
curious
I'm
what they're
super
going to
excited
do
for
with
this.
him, man. I'm really curious to see what they do with Luke's character.
I'm excited for this one. Yeah, yeah.
I hope they don't kill him off or something like that.
You know what? What might be? Oh, now we're jumping into the dark territory. From what I gathered in the trailer, because I'm pretty sure we all saw the trailer. But
Mm-hmm.
you guys see that part where you have Kylo Ren, and he's in it wasn't a TIE fighter, it was his own little like battle ship thing, right? His own fighter.
Yeah.
And he's hovering in front of a base, which looks like it has Leia in it. I think my theory is he might actually end up killing her off in this one.
Mm.
And then Luke might
It
come out.
started with the first one with him killing off Han Solo and left us all devastated. The only way where that could keep going is enemies are out there, right? Only alternative is I have to kill off my mom now to make my travel to the dark side complete. And he has that moment where he hesitates when he's sitting right in front of you, that quiet moment. I think that's what they're hinting to in that one.
Wow.
That they might kill Leia off. Which, it's sad, but it's kind of fitting, especially considering the fact that we don't have Carrie Fisher anymore.
Right.
So, and I know that they did film some of her parts before she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That's where I think they're going to go with that one. And theory, while we're on this,
Mm-hmm.
you guys see if there's any credence to this. Do you guys think it would be a trip if we come to find out that Kylo Ren's story is about going from the dark to becoming a good character, and then Rey, who starts off as a good character, she becomes evil because like Luke is just like, no, I'm not willing to sit up there and put that type of work into you.
Yeah, she says that.
Yeah.
I got to help me find my role. What did he say? Help me find my role in this or something like that?
Right, that last part of the trailer, and then you just see like Kylo Ren offering her his hand, and I'm just like, wait, are they gonna set up like the old switcheroo where he becomes the good guy and she becomes a villain? That would be so freaking dope.
That'd be nuts, man.
I don't know if they're gonna go that route. I might just be reading too into it.
Well, we did talk about it. That symbol. I mean, you have the Sith, you have the Jedi, but then you have something else.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna open the door to that, where Luke is like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this Jedi Sith thing. It doesn't do anybody any good. Reality is there's a road in between with emotions, with feelings, but also being cold and being analytical and using your power when it's needed to be used.
Yeah. Yeah. So what may end up happening is they both switch sides, or they could kind of like unite in the end and become the gray Jedi, like like what you said, that middle point to take out Snoke. I do feel they might kill Luke off in this one. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I think they're gonna kill him off. In
Wow.
This one.
Yeah, I thought that too, man.
Well, in the lore of the novel series that they came out with a long time ago, Luke is supposed to go to the dark side and then be the only Jedi to go into the dark side and bring himself out of it back to the light. But you don't think they're going to go down that road?
Knowledge? Huh? Yeah. I don't think they're going to go that route. I think Luke is just going to be the elder. He's going to be our Gandalf. He's going to serve as a mentor to these other Jedi, or at least what's left of them.
Right.
And then he's going to die. And I think that's going to be it. He's ultimately going to serve the same function that Yoda did in the original series, or the original film series.
Yoda and Obi-Wan, they all passed. They all got knocked off.
Yeah, they all got eventually. It's like that's almost like the plight of the Jedi mentor. It's like you always die, and usually it has something to do with you trying to help your dumbass apprentice out. So we will see. We will see. I'm interested though.
Well, I know one thing we could all agree on is that the next Deadpool movie better be amazing. I expect it to be amazing. It better be amazing because everyone's waiting for this film.
Yeah.
I want to see if lightning can strike twice with them. It does have. Sounds like it's going to have the same tone of the first one because it's mostly the same people that are involved in it. I want to say, I could be wrong, but it definitely does have the same vibe that the first film had.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they don't get into the repeat, we're making a sequel and we know it, but they'll probably take a couple shots at themselves for it being a sequel, like how 21 Jump Street did, where they're aware, because Deadpool's very much self-aware. So if it goes that route and does some things that are completely different while kind of poking fun at the idea, the notion of the sequel, that could be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
And
and
it's,
then with Ryan Reynolds too, I don't think I give the guy credit. Once his vision is set, he'll stick to it as far as trying to get the movie made right. So I don't think he's going to, run too far from the path or run off the path too far from the first one.
no,
Yeah.
he's gonna come in and do his thing, man.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he's been championing Deadpool for years now, and he didn't waste his opportunity with it. He's freaking crushed it first time around.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. It's just the other elements that we have to kind of be concerned of. It's like you don't want too much corporate executive meddling. You know, you're not trying to have 8 million Easter eggs for 8 other different spin-off films and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just
man.
keep it what it is. Keep it the crass,
Right.
brutal, violent, fun, bizarre Trek that it is when you have a Deadpool, in your midst. So
Are you guys excited about Domino's presence in this one?
Domino could be cool. I like the actress that they picked to play her. She has a cool look to her. How they've switched up Domino's role. I was telling you, Seven. It's like they took Foxy Brown and then mixed her with the original design of Domino. Just don't bog her down with the romantic element crap. You know how I am.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm like that too, man. They
Yeah.
try to force that stuff in so much, it drives me freaking crazy.
Leave that out of it. She flirts with Deadpool. Occasionally they've done whatever it is. But the whole, romance thing, leave that crap out and just keep it pushing. Because I guarantee you, when we get back to the sequel, you're going to find out old girl's gone. I bet you anything. The girl that he did all that crap for in the first one,
Yeah.
Marina Baccaris' character, she's going to be gone. I'm telling you. We broke up. That's it. That'll be all there is to it. But, yeah.
Actually, that would be brilliant if they just did that and kept it moving. Like, just one quick mention and just keep it moving. That would be hilarious.
I hate when they do that, but I feel it in my bones that that's going to be a thing because it completely undermines the plot of the first one. Then when you think about it, it's like, wow, we went through all that crap
For
for
nothing,
this person
right?
just to not be. But I guess that makes sense because that's what romantic relationships are in the end. Doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
Cynical.
Wow.
It's all the same stuff anyway. But yeah, I hope they do avoid that. I think that they're going to do it regardless. Though.
Yeah. Well, with the ending, they really, well, not to say that they can't, but they really shouldn't based on how it ended. And like you said, going through all that and how it ended, they really should not do that.
But see, that could be the joke. Is that
Mm.
it could be totally the joke. It's like, yeah, I know that first one for no reason. Next page.
That's funny. Oh man, I'm excited about that. So let's switch gears a little bit. A different type of film. Quick plug to Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's out now, just in case those of you who are slipping. I almost slipped because I just about forgot that it was coming out this week. I'm going to go check it out. If not tonight, then sometime this week. Chadwick Boseman, Kate Hudson. It has a pretty awesome cast, and so far it's gotten really good reviews.
Yeah.
But financially, it looks like it's bringing up rear. It had like a $12 million budget. So far, it's only made like $3 million back. And the fact that you were saying, Seven, the fact that all of us are kind of like, oh yeah, Marshall came out, not a good sign, because that means that not very many people are aware of it, which sucks, and that needs to not be a thing. So
Right.
Go support that one. First African American, what was it, Supreme Court Justice?
For Justice, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah. You gotta get
You go see that movie. Like real stuff. You guys can go see Girls Trip. You can go check this one out too. Just
Yeah.
give it a fair shake,
Yeah.
people. Come on,
Yeah.
you need to see this movie.
And you know what's interesting too?
Educate yourself, people.
There's a lot of ladies that made a lot of men see this movie. All right, men, step it up and make these ladies see Marshall. Be like, you know what? You owe me one, girl.
That's it.
I want to see Marshall.
Yeah, that's good.
But did you guys get your tickets yet for the Star Wars movie? Because it's going fast.
I did.
I haven't yet, but I do know someone that probably will be on me about them very soon.
Yeah.
There'll be shows.
There'll be shows.
No, there'll definitely be shows. But
Yeah.
at some point, I think that weekend, because remember, when is that? It's pretty much the holiday season. Holiday season, new films that everybody anticipates, it's a little difficult because everyone has family, friends, visiting. So,
Jersey's not. Well,
And
New
they'll
York.
all be like, yo, we need to stop being a family and go watch Star Wars right now, and then we can get back to the holiday stuff.
And that's how it goes. And
Yeah.
believe it or not, remember when Will Smith had, it was basically Fourth of July weekend was Will Smith weekend back in the day.
Because of Independence Day, the movie.
Hey, all his movies. I think he had like 3 or 4 films that all released that same weekend because it was like Will Smith weekend.
That's what they used to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was hard for people to get tickets.
Huh. Well, we'll see. I don't know. We have a lot more, I guess, like things like Fandango and all these other online vectors that you have for movies and film and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll manage. We'll figure something out.
You gotta look at it.
We're good. And we got reserved seating, so it's like folks are going to be like on the checking at their own pace anyway, so it'll be fine.
Well, actually, that's interesting. What do you guys think about this new reserve seating thing? I mean, they've always had it in certain theaters, but now it's becoming almost a standard. Yeah.
Standard, yeah, it's pretty much standard now. His theater out here in California, I don't know if you guys have like ArcLight where you are. That's how it started for me personally. That's when I first came across the selected seating.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great because I hate having to have that awkward conversation asking people, is this your seat? Or do you guys have a group here? Because I don't like people. I don't like talking to them. So it's like the idea that I can just walk in, know exactly where I'm sitting, and then just be cool. That's great. Nobody comes up, hey man, someone sitting next to you. It's like, bro, nah. Reserve seating. I'm here.
See, I'm the complete opposite, man. I like just let me buy my ticket and go plop my butt down in the seat.
But you can do that, Charles, and already know exactly where you have to go and know that there's not going to be some jag-off that's like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. This whole aisle's reserved.
Maybe that's how it works in L.A. New Yorkers, they reserve their seat and still sit in the wrong seats.
That is true. Good point.
Yeah, man. They don't care.
And you know it's so funny. You look at them, you're like, wait a minute, G7.
And you try to just keep.
And you're looking at them, they're looking at you, and they're like, I know my letters and numbers. You're in the wrong seat.
I'm not down with that, man. You have your seat, I have
mine.
mine.
Down the aisles, in the movie theater, because will you please get out my seat? I reserved the seat.
Get out of my seat, please. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your movie.
But you know what? When it's not packed, it's like, yeah, whatever. Keep it, you let it go. But I tell you, those reserve seating goes in deep when it's packed and it's a release weekend and there's 2 of you and there's 1 seat all the way in the back of the theater and there's 1 seat all in the front. You're like, no, I want these right here.
Yeah, it's bound to happen, man, because then you got those people that don't have a choice because they didn't bother or they're like their seat's gone for whatever magical reason. So they're just going to take it way back. Forget it. No one's here.
I know here what they try to do is like if you're going with like another person, they try to make you buy 2. That's if you're going with another person. You know what I mean? Try to keep you right next to each other. Try to keep some type of order. So I don't know.
Well, let's get into a little Blade Runner.
We gotta talk about Fort Hamilton, dude.
Yeah. Let's really quick with the film, and then we'll end it off with Fort Hamilton.
Well, no one saw Blade Runner though. I was the only one that saw it.
No, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm bringing up rear. I don't want to get spoilers. Should I close my ears or mute you guys and you just give me the signal?
I think we could talk about it without ruining it. You want to hold? You want to hold it off?
I don't know about that.
Khakis.
Well, I do have some gripes with the film, and there are things that I liked. So maybe we could hold off another week. You want to do that?
Let's just hold off.
Drew, you think you can catch that this week sometime?
Yeah, if you guys are willing to do that for me, I will definitely make sure that I see it before.
Go check it out. Because like I said, I have things that I liked, and there's some things like I probably feel like 7 on it. So yeah, go check it out.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. My fault again. Just got bogged down with stuff over here.
All right. So Fort Hamilton Comic-Con. Yes, I'm talking about. You heard me correctly. I said Fort Hamilton. That's right. An Army base has their own Comic-Con. And it's called Fort Hamilton Comic-Con, and it's in Brooklyn, New York. In fact, it's right by the Verrazano Bridge, if you want to, first location. Charles, we did a panel today.
Yeah, I thought it went well. What did you think? I thought it went well.
I thought it went really well, too. It was the business of geek, and we spoke about getting into different aspects of geekdom and turning it into a viable business and a career for yourself. And that was awesome. And Karen Parson,
That was
which played Hillary.
She was on the panel.
She was on the panel with us, which was awesome. Yeah.
You got footage of that? It's gonna go up on the official 7 Network website.
Yeah. Well, I got a pic. Got a selfie with it.
Okay. Yeah, you guys should have filmed that, man. So we can have the, that behind the shot, the behind the podium thing. We need that.
I thought it was really good. It was informative. I liked the fact that everyone was so candid. Oh, and we had Derek Nova, and his company, and we're gonna have him as a guest, so we'll go through all his website and all stuff. His company actually makes professional cosplay outfits for people.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. And everyone was super candid. And Charles was saying how he started in the comic book industry, and it was awesome.
It was nice.
So overall, the Fort Hamilton Con, how was it different than others of its like? Like you have.
This is what I'll say about Fort Hamilton. I love the setting of it. I really do. It's like you're in a castle or something. It's crazy. I love the setting of it, and they actually have room to expand. You know what I mean? They could take and they could expand this thing. Hands down, I think probably the best service that I've ever got out of any con. The staff is incredible, and I want to thank you guys 100%. I mean, 7, they're nice. I mean, they'll walk up to your table. Do you need anything? Do you need any water? Do you need anything to drink?
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The service that they give is incredible. Again, I want to thank you guys. Fort Hamilton, the staff was incredible. The Bennett's, awesome people that put it on. Great show. I know the traffic was a little bit light, but I think there was a huge, big old block party or something going on in Brooklyn. And,
yes, there was. Yep.
Yeah, and I think it drew some of the people away for that. But overall, I had a great time. Met some really nice people, made some new fans. But Fort Hamilton, I think they definitely need to stick with that, and it can definitely grow into something really, really phenomenal. I really think so.
Are they going to host it again next year at the same time?
I believe so, but I think they're going to mess with the dates a little bit, but I believe they're going to do it again. I do. I hope they do. They need to. So you guys are watching, please do the Fort Hamilton Comic-Con again. Do it again. You got to go by the rule of 3, man. Do it again. I had a great time, amazing time, and thank you guys.
Right. Wait. And I would say we've been to a lot of different cons, big and small. These new cons, they're getting it of how to treat people. But I also have to say, I went to a discussion. We'll talk about this probably next week because we're running out of time. But the folks at Read Pop, if you bring them information about issues, they will work on it and make sure those issues, in the best of their ability, are not there again. And I've seen them consistently do that over the last 3 years because I've actually paid attention. And so I feel that the growing smaller cons and how they're moving things around and how they're treating people, I think the bigger cons are taking note and they're changing.
Yeah, their service is impeccable.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Rad.
All righty, Drew. Next week we'll do the Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And more info. And thank you so much from the West Coast. You got to get the sign off, bro.
Oh yeah, spasm.
Brain spasm.
And Sensei Vegan, aka Charles Dixon. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, it was I can't even get out. I'll leave it at itty like Porky Pig over here.
And I'm Michael 7 Michael, and you're watching Eclectica. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. You're watching Eclectica.